now I'm going to show you how to make one of these really beautiful layered tassels. So this piece here is actually built of 3 different tassels. 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice here, these tassels are all the same size. They're the same length. I happen to have used the same yarn, so I know that each has the same number of strings inside of it. If you're using a yarn that's different for each tassel, just try to make sure that your tassels are about the same size. In terms of length, if you want varying lengths on your tassels, the longest tassel should be on the inside at the bottom, right? If you have too long of a tassel up here, it's going to cover up the others. And then what's the point of making different layers? So let's begin. We're going to start actually by working the bottom tassel into the middle tassel. So you can do this with any number of tassels. You could do a thing that's got 10 different tassels stacked one inside the other. Start with the bottom tassel. All right, so the tassel that's on the lowest tier, what we're going to do is thread one of the tails at the top of the tassel onto your tapestry needle. And then we're going to open up the tier that's just above it, the tassel that's just above it. I'm going right into there, into basically the center. So I've opened up all of the fringes there, and I'm going to insert my needle into the center of that tassel and come up just about right where the knot is at the top of that tassel. I'm pulling this lower tier, the peachy colored tassel, up into the center. And then what I'm going to do is take this tapestry needle and put it through that tie that's holding the top of this tassel together. I'm putting it right in there, and the hope here is that this little piece hides right inside that knot, right inside that loop. After you've come through that loop, you're going to put your needle back down through the center of that tassel, the layer above, just like this, and come out. Once you are here at this step, you can then tie your 2 peach strands together from that lower tassel, the bottommost tassel. You can tie those 2 strands together to make sure that it is secure. After that, you can cut the yarn. You can trim the yarn if you like. What I'm going to do is make this beautiful braid out of the 3 colors. So you'll notice I have a very long tail here. I'm going to leave it just where it is for now. I'm going to leave it right there. Now I'm going to do my next layer. So since this pink tassel sits inside the gray tassel, that's my next layer. So we're building upwards towards the top tassel. I'm threading one of the strands of my tassel top onto the tapestry needle. I'm going to open up the fringes at the bottom of this tassel, find roughly the center if I can help it, and then push my needle up through the head of the tassel. Okay, holding it open, I'm going to bring that tassel into the little fringe nest that we've created for it with the tassel above it. Okay, and then, if you recall, we're going to do the same thing we did with the previous tassel and bring our tapestry needle through that strand that's holding the gray tassel together. Again, the hope is that that strand hides, because we don't want, especially if you have a huge contrasting color, you don't want that piece popping up. So if you are able to, if you have a highly contrasting color, you can even try to do this like a little lower in that piece. All right, and then here, once you've gone through that piece, which I have, then I'm coming back out through the fringe nest, back towards the head of the pink pom-pom. Once I'm at the head of the pink pom-pom, I'm sorry, the pink tassel, excuse me. Once I'm at the head of the pink tassel, I'm going to tie a knot, actually a double knot, why not? Make it really secure. And then, again, I wanted here, you can cut that if that's what you like, but here I plan to do a braid, but you can see how cute this is already. Another little steam and all the pieces will lay perfectly. But before I do anything like that, I wanted to do that braiding. So I'm going to take those long tails in this pink in the middle tassel, thread both of them at this point onto my tapestry needle, and then carefully, because we don't want to catch up any of the other little fringe strings, it can be a little challenging, carefully we're going to come up through the fringe head, the tassel head, right up here, bringing those tails up. Something snuck up there with us. Hold on, I'm just going to see if I can gently tug it out of the way. Yep, there it was. Same as here, one of the little gray ones popped through. There we are. Okay, so now I have the gray tails and the pink tails. Oop, another little fringe piece came through. So actually with this gray one that came through, what I'm going to do is put it onto the tapestry needle and then push it back down into position. All right, so if some of them pop through, you can play around that way to fix them. And then I'm taking this lower tier, that last tassel tail section, and I'm going to repeat that. So my tails are coming out right here. I'm going to come up through the pink head, and before I do it, let me be more careful this time about making sure that this yarn is free of any disturbances. I'm coming straight up through the head of the top tassel. So I've gone through the pink and through the gray. I'm going to bring that up, and as I'm doing that, I'm just going to try my best to keep the little fringes out of the way. It's hard because they're wiggling all around, right? Okay. There we go. So now let me just... Once I have all three of those through, I then will braid them all. And the way that I did that with this is I had 2 strands from each color, and I just worked a normal braid for the length that I wanted and then tied a knot at the end to close it off. And that's how you create a layered or tiered tassel. Just like this, or stacked tassels. Really cute, really fun. Happy crafting!